Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips. And of course, a couple of announcements. The first thing is you guys asked me great questions via email, and I would give you answers if you were a member and you joined our Q&A sessions, which are 90 minutes a couple times a month. And then I can talk a lot better than I can write. There's just only so much time I have to type. And the other thing is that you have access to our library, and that's where the answers to a lot of your questions are as well. So I can do lots more for people if I can do things in groups and make people a little bit self-sufficient, then I can cover more ground with more people. We have inexpensive memberships. You don't have to, we have some expensive memberships that allow you to access a lot of content and take a lot of our courses, but we also have some stuff that's not so expensive too, okay? Second thing, microbiome workshop, October 26th. We might be sold out and you listen to the recording. I'm not sure about that, but let us know if you're interested. And we had so many people who wanted to do the weekend boot camp with me that we had to schedule a second one. So we had 19 people who wanted to do it. So that was, I didn't want those people to have to wait till January. So that leaves us 6 spots that are open for the weekend of, I think it's October, maybe it's November, it's in November. I can't remember when, but there is a second one scheduled and I don't have my calendar in front of me. We did schedule a second one because too many people wanted to do it. And I wanted to do it with a group of like 25 people so we could all be in a Zoom call and talk to each other and have a lot of discussion, because some of this stuff is not just lecture, it's discussion type topics too. It might be after conference. It might be like the weekend after our conference, okay? So that's it. Here's what I want to talk to you about today. We have been spending a lot of time talking about cancer because it is defeat breast and prostate cancer. I wanted to say month, but it's 2 months. We are September through October, and we just have a couple more weeks left. So I think it's important to talk about this for the next couple weeks. Cancer is going to exceed heart disease in the United States as the leading cause of death. Good reasons to focus on not getting cancer, right? So the data I'm going to share with you today is about skin cancer, but it really is indicative of problems associated with screening programs for all types of cancer. And of course, part of breast and prostate cancer awareness is screening programs are promoted, really promoted aggressively, all right? So let's start with this. Let's think about why would somebody get a screening test? And I think this is really important to think about. The justification for screening programs is that they will reduce the risk of dying of the cancer for which you're being screened for, okay? And the justification is that if we find the cancer earlier, it'll be more treatable, and then we'll reduce the risk of death. Now, that all makes perfect sense. I don't know anybody who would argue with that based on the principle behind it. But here is the reality. There's only one test that we have, screening test for cancer, that actually has been proven again and again and again and again and again to actually reduce the risk of dying of cancer. And that is Pap testing, which detects abnormal cells that could become cervical cancer. And that actually works for reducing the risk of dying of cervical cancer. In every country in which Pap testing has been instituted, the death rate from cervical cancer has literally plummeted, okay? As for other screening programs, it seems like the more we screen, the worse things get. For example, there is not a single randomized controlled trial showing that colonoscopy reduces the risk of dying of colon cancer. It has some value as a diagnostic tool, but not as a screening test. The Canadians actually took it off the list of recommended screenings several years ago. Skin cancer screening. Not just dermatologists, but internal medicine docs, family practice docs, everybody is doing visual examinations. The U.S. Preventive Services Task Force recommends against this, and the reason is that it has led to more diagnoses, but not necessarily to a change in the death rate. It's estimated that 4,000 excisions are required in order to prevent 1 death from melanoma. In other words, the odds that you're going to get screened for skin cancer, and it's actually going to benefit you, 1 out of 4,000, and if you like those odds, you should buy a lottery ticket today. You could be a winner. Evidence also shows that experts, meaning in this case dermatologists, they don't do much better than just family practice and internal medicine docs. So you might think, well, this has to be the end of hunting for skin cancer. This didn't work, right? Well, they still do it. And knowing that most people, including doctors, have no knowledge of the efficacy rate for almost anything. We don't look at outcomes. A company's developed an at-home app so that consumers can hunt for skin cancer themselves all day long. I suppose the idea is that artificial intelligence might actually be better than doctors, and again, not so much. A study presented at the European Academy of Dermatology and Venereology just a few weeks ago showed that the consumer app incorrectly classified Merkel cell carcinoma as low risk 17.9% of the time. A type of melanoma was categorized as low risk 22.9% of the time. But this is the most important number right here. Nearly 2/3 of benign lesions, 62.2%, were classified as high risk, which means that if they were widely used, most people with harmless moles and lesions would be told that they had serious skin cancer who did not. Exactly the problem with screening programs in doctors' offices and with colonoscopy and with mammography and with PSA testing. What these tests do is they increase the number of diagnoses, which does not translate to a decrease in the death rate from the particular type of cancer, which means we are diagnosing the heck out of cancer and treating a lot of people that probably don't have cancer. They might die with it, but not of it in the process. And when you give treatment, when you tell somebody they have cancer who doesn't have it, first of all, their psychological stress goes through the roof. The second thing is when you treat people who don't have cancer as if they have cancer, you're talking about surgery and chemotherapy and radiation. This is really, really, I mean, I don't even know how to explain how dangerous this is when you treat people for a disease they don't have. It's all risk, it's all harm, there's no possible benefit. So you might think in response to this dismal result, the people designing this app would have taken it off the market. No, 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 it just needs more tweaking. I mean, the whole idea that we just keep screening and screening instead of focusing on really what does reduce the risk of cancer, which is prevention. And prevention means eating better, taking care of yourself, losing excess weight, dropping alcohol intake a lot, drinking water, getting sleep, looking at the quality of your life. Those are the things that reduce your risk of cancer. And unfortunately, all of this screening takes a lot of the focus off of that. All right, well, that's enough for today. These are some reasons for you to participate in our program, the Defeat Breast and Prostate Cancer Program. Sign a pledge saying you'll take better care of yourself. We give you a $100 gift certificate. Get 25 people to sign the pledge, we will give you another $100 gift certificate. And you can use those certificates towards certain of our educational programs, which people love, and reduce your cost a whole bunch. In fact, we have some courses that you could get for free if you do those two things. So if you're interested, send me an email at pampopper@msn.com. The staff will be in touch with you to tell you how to get on board and do it. You have a couple weeks left, take advantage of it, okay? All right, be back to you tomorrow with more news. As usual, pass this on to anybody who you think might enjoy watching it. More to follow tomorrow. Have a great day.